Hi everyone, Gianni Di Poce here with you for TheoTrade, and today is Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. And we're seeing markets down a little bit today. We are off the session lows for now, less than 2 hours left in the trading session as markets are, I think, waiting in anticipation of that 8 p.m. deadline that President Trump currently has. Now, there was a bit of backpedaling already again today, saying that that 8 p.m. deadline could be extended. But I just want to use this as an opportunity to circle back to something that I've been discussing previously, and just the difficulty of trading around headlines. I don't think it is generally a good idea because we don't know what's going to happen next. We don't know how this is going to play out. And, really don't even be surprised if it's a situation where there's an escalation and stocks rally, or if there's a de-escalation and stocks fall. It's important not to get trapped in certain narrative outcomes because, I've been using the 1990 oil crisis, which ultimately led to the Gulf War in 1991, as kind of a guide in this environment, because you had crude oil spike over 100% in a 6-month window. Stocks dropped 20% during that 6-month window as well. But then once the actual war kicked off and there were boots on the ground, stock markets actually did very well during that time, and oil prices came down quite a bit. And what's interesting about that statistic is that we're pretty much going to be trading through history here, because every time there has been an oil spike in a short window of time, a 100% plus move in the price of oil in a matter of months, stocks have always corrected 20%. However, we have not seen a 20% correction in back-to-back years in stocks in decades. So in many ways, we are trading through history right now, because one of those rules, if you will, is going to break. So there's some mixed things going on in the tape right now. You do have the NASDAQ lagging in terms of upside today. Again, you are off the session lows. It was showing some relative strength yesterday compared to the other indices. And one of the things that I remarked upon during my live session at TheoTrade today was just how we're on the verge of one of our longest rallies in months. If you look at this here, I mean, the rally that you had in late January, that was about 7 days. Then you had a rally in mid February that was 8 days. And so we are 7 days from that low of March 31st. Yesterday's high has not been taken out, but the point I'm trying to make is that we're on the verge of this being one of the longest rallies that we've had in weeks, in months. And that's a dynamic that I pay close attention to in markets, because I don't just look at price, I look at time as well. So basically what I'm saying is this market's actually holding on to its recent gains better than it was throughout most of March, and even in many ways year to date. So that's a pretty good sign for the bulls. Now, bulls will also like to see semiconductors outperforming. They did just pull back a little bit, but they're down less than the S&P, down less than the NASDAQ. SMH, the semiconductor ETF, treading water near its highs as well. But last week was a big signal that bulls could rest some laurels on, because it was the first time in months where you had technology emerge as the top performing sector on the shortened trading week. Okay, so it was a 4-day trading week last week because markets were closed for Good Friday. And it was the first time, I think this entire year, even going back toward the end of 2025, where a growth sector, well, you did have a growth sector outperform briefly in communications in February, but technology, which is the largest and most important sector in the entire market, had a serious run of outperformance last week, and it was so significant that it actually restored its place as the top performing sector over the last 52 weeks. So again, I'm going to restate that so you understand clearly. Technology rallied so much last week compared to the other sectors. Not only was it the top performing sector on the week, but it also was able to reclaim its place as the top performing sector over the last 52 weeks, or the last year. And the performance spread between energy and technology was almost 10% last week. And one of the other things that I've been watching here very closely is that even though the price of crude oil is pushing up against the highs. It's on the verge of making new highs. If you look at the May contract, you actually did make a new high here today. The continuous contract, not yet. But energy stocks have pulled back a little bit, and they haven't been rallying as much. I still have some runner positions in the energy trade. Case in point here in Magnolia Oil, a Trinity setup. It's been doing very well. Been long the stock since late January. But the point I'm making is that the energy trade within the equity market has backed off some. Technology has stormed back to the forefront. Now it's only Tuesday. Okay, it's only Tuesday, so bulls still have work to do. But as long as we see a growth sector emerge this week again as the top performer, I think bears are going to have to start asking some serious questions about their position. But we are not out of the woods yet. I want to be clear. I'm not bearish, certainly not bearish in this environment anymore. But I'm positioned, in a manner where I would benefit from more upside if that was the low. But I have enough cash on the books to where if this market does reverse and drop back lower, I'm not going to be taking a major beating. So it's very important to differentiate between the two. So I like what's going on that front. Even the large cap, mega cap tech names, Mag 7, Mag 10, they actually slipped a little bit here recently, but Mag 10 actually down less than the other markets, mainly because Broadcom seeing a nice bid. Mag 10 is basically just the Mag 7 plus AMD plus Palantir plus Broadcom. Palantir's up, Broadcom's up, AMD's treading water. And so that is a good sign. But I think the even bigger signal is not necessarily mega cap tech, it's small cap tech. Small cap tech, because you look at the Russell 2000 here today, it's down the least compared to the other indices. Okay. Small cap tech has weathered this storm, this volatility storm in equities tremendously. I can't even call this a correction. This is just sideways action near the highs. So this tells me that once this market figures out whether it's bottom now or it's going to bottom here soon, small cap tech is going to be a home to some of the greatest opportunities in this market going forward. Okay, and there's been a lot of themes, whether it's drone or space technology companies been using UFO. That ETF is kind of a proxy to measure that strength. That's holding up near the highs. Small cap tech, small cap drones, a lot of really exciting opportunities on that in that area of the market. And I think it goes beyond just the war too, because I think drone technology is going to be used in commerce, delivery, stuff like that too. So don't sleep on the sector. It's definitely a pocket of strength and opportunity. Even the quantum, ETF holding up pretty well. So it's not like software, which has been demolished. You got sectors like tech, semiconductors. You got sectors like quantum, and I would even include, the space ETF. There's some overlap between industrials and tech. Earlier this year, I had that industrial tech theme. I still like that idea going forward here into the second quarter. So that's something else I'm watching. But as a reminder, the VIX is still up. The VIX is still elevated. We need to be prepared for intraday volatility to continue. This is not an environment where you could just shoot from the hip and expect a good trade to work out. So, mind your levels, watch your risk reward, be selective in the opportunities. There are opportunities in this market. Again, tech is starting to lead. Tech is notorious for leading out of market bottoms, but with oil this high still, with the VIX still elevated, I need to see a big crush on those in order to finally say, hey, like that was it, guys. Let's buckle up. Let's back up the truck. Let's look for new all-time highs. Other areas of the market, gold and silver, kind of just holding up here. I have warmed up to gold and silver quite a bit. I'm looking for a secondary high or low in the next week or so, and I think that's going to provide an opportunity for some good upside opportunities, especially in shares of various mining stocks. I mean, you even look at Wheaton corrected quite a bit. I mean, these companies have incredible margins, should not be ignored. You take a look here at cryptocurrencies, just to shift gears for a moment. And you'll see that, Bitcoin is still struggling to find a sustainable bid. I mean, you did have it, what could be argued was a higher low last week. You take out that high from mid-March, things start to look a bit more serious. But still think there's going to be some headwinds, things that need to get sorted out. But this is a really good barometer for risk appetite. If crypto does hammer out a bottom, I think it's a good sign for stocks. And finally, when I look at currencies, dollar still going sideways near the high against the Japanese yen. I'm okay with the dollar breaking out against the yen. The one thing I'm really watching is if the euro can accelerate against the dollar. I think that's a really good sign for stocks in general. It's not uncommon to see the dollar back off once the market has put in a bottom. And I still think there's more opportunities abroad than domestically. Latin America, one of my favorite regions of the world, kind of insulated from geopolitical risk. I've been looking at some opportunities there. It's still very early. If you haven't been in Latin America, in terms of equity allocation, I think there's still plenty of time to get involved with that. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Tread carefully. VIX is still high. There's good things happening internally. We have the conditions for a bottom. We just need follow through. We'll see what happens tonight. Stay nimble, stay ready, be ready for any direction, upside or downside, because a big move is coming in one direction or the other. So that's all for now, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in the TheoTrade chat room.